letting go is an art, one that many of us struggle to master. It's a concept that sounds simple enough, yet it often feels insurmountably complex. We cling to memories, relationships, and possessions, often believing that they define us or provide a sense of security. But what if, instead of holding on, we learned to release our grip? What if we understood that letting go could be the key to a lighter, more fulfilling life? Consider the story of Clara. She was a woman in her late 30s, living in a cozy apartment filled with mementos from her past. Each item in her home told a story: a faded photograph from her college days, a dusty trophy from a long-forgotten sports achievement, and stacks of books that she had read and reread. Clara had always believed that these physical manifestations of her history were essential, pieces of her identity that she couldn't part with. Yet, as she looked around her apartment one evening, she felt an overwhelming sense of heaviness, as if the walls were closing in on her. Clara had recently gone through a difficult breakup. The relationship had been tumultuous, filled with moments of joy interspersed with heartache. She had invested so much of herself into it, but in the end, it had left her feeling more lost than ever. The memories haunted her: every shared laugh, every late-night conversation, every promise made and broken. They echoed in her mind like a relentless refrain, preventing her from moving forward. She had thought that holding on to these memories would keep the love alive, but instead, they suffocated her. One evening, after a particularly trying day, Clara sat on her couch, surrounded by the remnants of her past. The weight of her memories felt like an anchor, dragging her deeper into despair. She realized that she had become a curator of her pain, meticulously preserving every moment of hurt while neglecting the possibility of healing. It was then that she made a decision. She would begin the process of letting go. The first step was daunting. Clara started small, sorting through her belongings. She picked up the framed photograph of her and her ex, taken on a sunny day at the beach. Their smiles were genuine, yet the image felt like a ghost haunting her. With a deep breath, she placed it in a box labeled Memories. It was a symbolic gesture, a recognition that while the memory was significant, it no longer served her present self. Each item she sorted through became a small victory. The trophy, the books, and even the souvenirs from their trips together found their way into the box. With every object she released, Clara felt a bit of the weight lift off her shoulders. As she continued this process, she discovered that letting go wasn't just about physical possessions. It extended to emotional baggage as well. She started journaling, pouring out her thoughts and feelings onto the pages. She wrote about her hopes, her fears, and the pain of the breakup. The act of writing became a cathartic release, allowing her to confront her emotions rather than bury them. She realized that she had been holding on to anger and resentment, believing that they were justified. But as she wrote, she began to understand that these feelings were like chains, binding her to a past that no longer existed. With each word, she released a little more of that burden. Clara also began to reevaluate her relationships. She had friends who were supportive, but there were others who seemed to thrive on her misery, feeding into her sadness instead of uplifting her. She made the conscious choice to distance herself from those who didn't encourage her growth. Letting go of toxic relationships was liberating, allowing space for new, healthier connections to flourish. She found herself gravitating toward friends who inspired her, who shared her passions, and who encouraged her to embrace the present. As Clara let go of the past, she discovered a newfound sense of freedom. She began exploring her city, visiting art galleries, attending workshops, and taking long walks in the park. Each experience was a step toward rediscovering herself, a chance to create new memories untainted by the shadows of her previous relationship. She took up painting, something she had always wanted to do, but had never allowed herself to pursue. The canvas became a place of expression, a way to channel her emotions into something beautiful. With time, Clara learned that letting go was not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. She found herself reflecting on her progress, celebrating the moments when she successfully chose to release negativity or fear. It became a habit, a way of life that brought her joy. She learned to appreciate the beauty of impermanence, understanding that life is a series of fleeting moments, each one deserving of recognition, but none meant to be clung to indefinitely. As the months went by, Clara transformed. The once cluttered apartment now felt like a sanctuary, filled with light and space. The memories that remained were cherished, but no longer burdensome. She had created a life that was vibrant and fulfilling, one that allowed her to embrace new experiences without the weight of the past holding her back. She had learned that letting go was not about forgetting. It was about making room for growth, for joy, and for the possibilities that lay ahead. In the end, Clara's journey taught her that letting go is a powerful tool, one that can free us from the shackles of our past. It is a practice that allows us to live more fully in the present, to savor the beauty of each moment without the heaviness of what once was. When we let go, we open ourselves to new opportunities, new connections, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. Life becomes lighter, richer, and infinitely more fulfilling, and in that lightness we find the space to truly live.